All right. And welcome, 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 everyone, to another amazing interview. And today we are so honored to have Joanne here. And Joanne, I would love to have you share your story. And if you would take us back to when you discovered your gifts and the journey of doing what you do now.
Sure. Certainly. Well, thank you so much for having me here. And I'm so happy to have found this group of wonderful women that are all very, very gifted in their own way, right? Excuse me. So for myself, you know, I think if I look back now on, my mom kept really impeccable records through like our photo albums and wrote little notes and stuff. And I was actually thinking about this the other day because I know she wrote down some comments that I said to her about always feeling someone following me. But I was just a happy little girl. Yeah, like someone's following me. It must be God, is what I said at that time. Um, but I can't say the age, but I must have been in like elementary school. But I know just like from the beginning of my life, really, truly, just as a little girl, I have so many like different memories of just having like an awareness and a knowing about things that, at the time, obviously, as a little girl, I just accepted it. I didn't question it, but as an adult, we know that yeah, like at 5 years old, you shouldn't know about homeless or all these people that homeless people I wanted to bring home with me, um and I- I'd lay in my bed at night and watch these dots in the air. So what I know that what they are now, it's energy. So as a child, seeing energy in my room, the molecules, and never really understanding that until actually in my 50s, where I kind of went, that's what that was. But I never found anyone else like who could see that or who knew what I was talking about until I had my daughter. And my daughter said the same thing one day to me, that she saw all these dots in the room and they made her feel like she couldn't breathe because they're just the air is like literally thick with them. Um, and then, in grade 7 as well, I started to have prophetic dreams. Um, and just knew things before they would happen. But truly, really, um, the age of 50 is when I kind of really accepted and came into and to embody exactly who I am. So it took years because my mom was a psychiatric nurse, and I just always had this feeling and this knowing to keep my mouth closed. Don't, there were things that happened that I had to say something, but really, they just kind of would look at me and not say anything because I don't think they even knew how to respond to some of the things that I would say. But um, I really didn't tell it like many people at all. Like on one hand, maybe I had a group of friends. So when I was 50 years old, um, on my 50th birthday, I did this meditation, and whether you want to call it God or spirit, I don't know who it was, but I did have a being come to me and do a life review with me and for me. It was like they put like a video in my head and flashes of my life and why things were the way they were and what was happening to me, and stories of, okay, now there's nothing behind you, now you need to stop playing small, now you can step into your truth and embody my truth without feeling like my kids are going to be taken away, I'm going to be committed or something, which I did carry that fear all my life. Um so really it wasn't until I was 50 that I started doing mediumship, um and the readings for people, and um The Reiki actually is kind of an interesting story, because the Reiki came through. I became a Reiki master, um, and again, age I don't know, but my kids were young. My son is 30, so he was 5 when he was diagnosed with cancer. And so we went through a year of chemo with my son, and then at the end of that year, the oncologist said to me, "Okay, Joanne, the part of the chemo that they gave your son will affect his heart. And so he has just a slight heart decrease." And he said, "If you ever see your son holding his chest and he has trouble breathing," he said, "that's a 911 call." And so one evening, he came into my room and he was holding his chest. And so he was probably 6, and he said, "Mommy, I can't breathe." And, you know, typically you would think I would do the panic, that mother, "Oh my God, this is," but I just so calmly said to him, "Okay, Christopher, go sit on the table or sit on the bed." And so I walked up behind him, and I knew of energy at that time. Um, so it was just like it was this thing within me that knew what to do. And so, I put my hands on his back, and I just visualized, this light coming through my head and then coming out my hands. And he just said, "Mummy, your hands are getting hot." But I mean, so I did that, and all of a sudden, like, he just got up and went back to bed, and he was fine. He could breathe and everything else. So then after that, that's when I I I went to a friend who had a Reiki master, so I became a Reiki master at that time. But so yeah, just the whole kind of my whole life, even now, like I don't, there's things that happen to me that has never happened to me before, and so it's a learning process, really trying to get in touch with um, what I believe, is past life stuff, and just in touch with my gifts. And I know everyone has their gifts, so that's as well what I try to do right now is help people to get in touch with their gifts, their intuition, raise their energy. And yeah, I do what I call elevate sessions. And so with that, there's I channel. Sometimes I channel family members, um, but I'll channel, I'll activate, their codes, do soul clearings. And then at that time as well, I really work with more their energy, because I find with a lot of people right now, just with the shifting that's happening, in the planets, on the earth, um, is that people are really like a lot of things that don't sit well with them, that they're finding they want to release. I find that right now all of that stuff is coming up within them, and so now they're looking for this change. They know there's something different within them, and so really they want to access and learn how to access this internal navigation system we all have. So yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, you were such a gift. And to finally be able to understand it and how to be able to be of service to use your gifts. How can
Yeah.
somebody get in touch with you?
Um, Truly, on my Facebook really is the best, because I have a private group on Facebook. It's called Evolve and Unlock your limitless potential. And but on my main Facebook page, Joanne Hughes, um, is the best way, because every day I'm in my group and on my page, and uh, so that would be the easiest way. And then yeah, they could contact me there.
So if I understand this right, so if somebody is having a calling, knowing that there's something more, but
Mm,
they feel like they need some help clearing
mm,
out these blockages, then you are able to access so much more than many of us can to help them understand and remove these blocks, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I'm sure everyone can, like, I mean, in their own way, or everyone has gifts to do that for sure. I know, like when I do it, and the past, like recently, there's been this like real surge of clients coming to me, and what I'm finding is that they are at that point in their life where either they're leaving relationships, jobs, they're really being called to be of service right now. And so, what I find is that when they come to me, I can really see their energy is very low. You can see it in their face. And of course, I mean, I can feel their energy. And then, just by um, getting them even to focus on their energy centers, to pulling up their energy, because we can all do that, just because the lower three energy centers can be it that's seems to be where everyone sits. It's almost like, well, I mean, we're going through our life and we're just doing what we're doing, but those three energy centers are the centers of lack and survival. And so just when they consciously think to pull those energies up just from breath work, pulling it up to, like I always say, is sitting right in the middle of your head to activate your pineal gland, and just to have that, your crown chakra opened, just to access that, and then putting them in a state of emotion of gratitude, or compassion. We really work through that. But when they do that, and they do that over a period of like a week, even just a week, is that I've seen like their face shifts. Their face looks totally different. The energy around them is different. And when they're in that state, um, there's a lightness. They feel more light. So now they're able to access their intuition. They're able to access their creativity, and their future self. Because I always say, when you're in that state with that emotion, that elevated emotion, your energy is elevated. Now you're in the quantum. And so things just really flow for them. And so, yeah, I mean, I love doing that because I love watching all these people shift right in front of my eyes. Yeah.
I love that so much. Is there any parting words that come to mind that you would like to share with the audience today?
I really feel like my biggest thing that I love to share with people is that, um, like, our bodies are the best therapists, teachers. Um, like, literally, we are in the most amazing times on this planet, and we can heal ourselves 100%, and we can create whatever we want in our life. There's just really nothing stopping anyone from doing anything that they want in this world. And it really is just finding out how to do that, or just to shift their energy, because really our energy centers and the chakras are really the key, in my opinion, to everything. And when you can understand them, when you learn about them, when you can shift the energy with, and everything is energy, right? Everything. And we can shift that, like, energy when we need to, out of our chakras, our mind, everything. Our thoughts are all energy. So just learning to manipulate the energy, move it around, shift it, you will be able to create your best life. So, yeah. And
That's so
accessing.
beautiful. And it sounds like somebody who doesn't quite know how to do it or doubt themselves, it sounds like you would be a perfect person to help them walk through that journey, that process, to
Yeah,
teach them.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I love doing that. And I do a lot of that stuff in my group. I also do some stuff on my page. Um, yeah, so I mean, as things come, I have a 6 week coming up now, a 6 week group coaching program, and my Elevate sessions. I kind of go between the two of those. Yeah, I'm always on my Facebook page. That's where they can find me and hear more, and I always share that kind of information. That's my passion is that stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you finally came into your own and you're sharing your gifts. And we're going to be sure to put her links to her Facebook page and her program coming up above the interview and also in the comments below. So be sure to find them and get in touch with Joanne. And thank you for being here. Thank
You
you
know,
for being you.
yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for this group. And yeah, have a wonderful day.